Hey, the FMQ. The past. Where is it? Doesn't exist. Does in my head. Maybe it does in yours. Even positive and negative experiences. Why are they there? And that's what this 5-minute quickie is about. Just exploring and musing about why we keep having memories and how we can use them for the good of you and little old planet Earth. Have a listen, please, after this. Hey, welcome to the 5-minute quickie. And if you're new here, just a little explanation what a 5-minute quickie podcast is with the Personal Development Unplugged podcast. But it's basically me just musing and hopefully getting you to muse, to think. Think about different things just over, say, 5 minutes, and maybe you'll take them away. Those thoughts, develop them, and maybe we can develop them together in a longer podcast. Sometimes they'll be, well, they're never 5 minutes, I tell you that now, or very rarely. There may even be a little process there, I don't know, but it's things that I've come across, read, heard, and just something I want to share with you. Just to think and to probe and get ourselves in a way that we can just keep striving to be that little bit different, a little bit better, so we can be the change we want to see in others and be the change we want to be in ourselves. Just a thought. Just becoming aware of maybe what is new, what we can do. When we start thinking of things like that, I believe it means we start to create those things as well. Because you have a feeling. The feeling that those thoughts generate, and that feeling will, I think, resonate into action and results. Anyway, that's a quick roundup intro of the 5-minute quickie.
Warning.
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 Warning. You are entering into the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. Too late. Personal Development Unplugged.
Another FMQ. And if you're listening audio, you can get this on video too. If you go to YouTube, search my name, search Unplugged, and we'll be there. But what's this FMQ about? Well, to me, the past doesn't exist. I know it feels like it does. And we've talked about this before, haven't we? But it doesn't exist. It's a time, as we say, is just a construct. A construct, Cluffy. That is, you're getting up there now. Time is just a construct. But it is, isn't it? It doesn't exist. The future doesn't exist. It hasn't happened yet. The past has gone. We're only here. And I've done a longer podcast on this. But what I wanted you to think about with me, if you would, if you like me and like thinking about these things, just for a short while over your cup of tea, your coffee, a little beer, or whatever it is that gets you going, is why, if the past doesn't exist, does it feel like it exists? Say that again. Why does it feel like it exists? Got there in the end, didn't I? And because it does. Sometimes it's so real. If you don't catch yourself, you can disappear into your head, because that's where it exists, isn't it? You disappear into your head and become the past again. Now, why is that? It's a bloody good question, Cluffy. Why is that? And I'm going to tell you why it is. I think it's there for learning. And that's just not the negative stuff, by the way. There's negative events in our lives. Sometimes we call them significant emotional events. And there's positive events. And I suppose they could be significant emotional events, because each one has its own energy. And it is there, I believe, for a reason. Now, I don't mind being able to hook into the positive events, because I would use them in NLP and with my clients to anchor in good feelings that they've experienced in the past. But the negative stuff, that's there, I think, for a reason. And the reason is we haven't truly learnt from that event, that experience, which is why the negative emotion is still there, trying to protect us from doing the same thing again. But if we don't take the time to Learn from the past, which is what therapy, I guess, is about, getting your unconscious mind to learn from the past. Therefore, you don't need the negative emotion anymore, and you can start, those learnings, we call them, are available to you whenever you need them. Therefore, it could be different. And the thing is, it's such a simple process, isn't it? A simple thing. How can I learn? And that's one of the questions. So if you've got something that's just bugging you, it keeps coming in your mind, because we all have those, don't we? We have those little things that just keep bugging us, and they go on like on a loop, don't they? A loop, it just goes on and on. So to stop that loop, you can do a simple thing. Just ask yourself the question, what are you trying to do for me? And notice that it's not working. So you get your unconscious mind say, well, it's not working anymore. What can we learn from this? And I say we because it's like conscious and unconscious. What can we both learn from this? And that's it, really. That's all I want to do in this 5-minute quickie, because I'm going to use this as the foundations, the basis for a longer podcast, so we can really get it into some real processes. But if you would, just for a few minutes with that little Jenny journal, that little notebook, I have numerous ones. Just if you make a few notes as you think so they don't disappear, I think your unconscious mind will take that on. I believe it. I've seen it happen. I've experienced it. It's like you suddenly get a realization. To me, it's where those aha moments come. And it may not be at the time when you do it. You set the seed going in your unconscious mind. What can I learn from this? And maybe it doesn't come. It doesn't come there and then, instantaneously. But you could be walking along, minding your own business, hopefully. And all of a sudden, that aha moment, that intuition comes in. And if you haven't got something to put it down on, it could disappear. So have your phone ready. Evernote, notes. Have your little notebook in your pocket. Have something to make sure that you remember that. There you go. That's the musing. That's the musing of this 5-minute quickie. And I hope it stimulates your thoughts. Maybe even already. Maybe I've just got that seed to start to think of all the things you can learn. And so learn from the things you did well, so you repeat them, and learn from the things that weren't so good, so we don't repeat them, and we get better at everything. It's a little bit like creating your reality. Clearing away. Giving yourself a service, an MOT. And getting rid of those little loopy things. Really appreciate your time, my friend. I really do. Send me an email if you like. It's unplugged person. I'll say that again. It's feedback@personaldevelopmentunplugged.com. Only comes to me. And if you would share this episode, it would be so good. And also, if you want to, and I haven't got those buttons and things like that, but if you wanted to, you could press that subscribe button on your thing that you're listening to, the follow button, because that really helps. Having said all of that, the most important thing is that you start living your life and creating the real you more and more. So until next time, my friend, longer podcast, shorter podcast, let's have more fun than we can stand. It's time to fly. Bye-bye.
Warning, you are now leaving the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. It's time to fly on your own. Be brave, my friend.
Personal Development Unplugged.